Come see this in 1541. Austrians analyze BBB, Russia, Hövding's implosion. This is a series where I summarize a rantatonne post made up of at least 3 things I've read, seen, or heard. Question number 1. What is the best BBB proposal analysis you've heard? Putting aside objections to state spending being inherently unethical due to how they take from some and give to others, especially when it comes to indebting people who have yet to be born to give those who will long be dead when the bill comes due, I accept that the political expediency was there, that Trump was figuring that in and passing the BBB. I accept that. So putting that aside, it's political theater. The spending must go on. However, I'd be interested in a good defense for the content proposed by the actual reconciliation bill. For the Austrian School of Economic agreeers like me, we have a Contra Krugman reunion here in this first section where Bob Murphy joins Tom Woods to discuss some of the substantial and practical reasons to argue against the sort of spending that Trump's BBB has put into law. More spending discussed in section 2 with the question of, have you realized Russia is going to overcome Project Ukraine yet? Trump and others may balk at the potential of a multipolar world, but feel it or not, in fact, the internal concerns of the 3 big nations in the world, that's the USA, China, and Russia, leave them with little time and energy to reach further out than the localized spheres of influence that they have. First of 3 videos by the Duran talks about Macron being the talk of shame nominee for the floundering old Western powers as Project Ukraine falters. I guess Macron's just taking all the shameful things, he's doing the shameful act of suing Candace Owens. That fail of Project Ukraine came to be from how Ukraine's puppeteers underestimated what Russia could be socioeconomically when pushes and shoves escalated into persecution and sanctions. In their defense, I think top Russians like Putin and this is exactly what someone named Elvira Nabiullina would look like, governor of the Bank of Russia, also underestimated how well Russia would take the international pressure. And the last video is about Russians' relations with Azerbaijan. Just like Trump is best served in getting better results by focusing on what is crossing USA's southern border rather than worrying about Russia's eastern border crossings. Russia also has a similar internal crime stemming from questionable migration from its south. Putin may have more leeway from his people to be more heavy-handed with the internal issues that are going on, but Trump is better off with having a less antagonistic politicality running the countries that the criminal elements come from. Question 3. Is planning for safety a safe bet? Both countries, including China, will be best served focusing on their internal safety, as I said, rather than projections of international power that make things less safe for everybody involved. But when it comes to statecraft, the cost-benefit analysis and market feedback that showed that there was not enough demand for the generally good idea of the Hövding airbag helmet that's featured in this section, leading to a shuttered company freeing resources to be more productive uses, does not exist. If this was a more rational market, a less mutated market, then any non-biased and misinformed analysis of Eastern Europe over the last decade and a half, the security posture of Russia and its ability to deal with actual danger and harm was not that of somebody just saying, oh, this is my small little town, I'm just taking a short bike ride around, just need to be careful I don't hit a pothole or something. But rather, this was like a city at the end of train tracks that's been surveilling on the news and watching that this train is coming down and stopping at every town on the way with people jumping off, looting and pillaging, adding more volatile material. So by the time that train was approaching the terminus, Russia was willing and able and ready to address the threat that it posed.